This video is a demonstration of Snip, which is a part of the Microsoft Office Mix program. You can do it in Office Mix. It's a little more difficult to get to the exact screen that you want, as you saw earlier in a demonstration. The Mix tool is usually at the top of your screen by default. I keep it in my system tray, but you can change that. If you click on it, you'll see it up there. There are three things you can do with the Snip tool. The first one is to take a screen capture and record on it. The second is to use a whiteboard and demonstrate. And the third one is to use a camera. You also have a library that you can get to. You do not have to leave this floating up there. You can close it. And down here in the systems tray, you can always get to it there. It looks like a pair of scissors. When you right click on it, you have several things that you can do. You can actually start something from there, get to your library from there, and you can also go to settings and change your settings. You want probably to run Snip when Windows starts. I usually run it all the time because I use it quite a bit. You can show the toolbar on the desktop up there as that floating toolbar, which I don't like, so I have it off. But you can change that. I use print screen as my hotkey, but you can change that as well. I have no preferences right now for the whiteboard or the camera. And I can get to settings from here as well. Okay, so to do one, all I have to do is press print screen, because that's my hotkey, on my keyboard. So I'm going to press print screen. And I immediately get where I can choose what part I want to capture. I'm going to press escape because I just decided that I don't want this part in it. So I'm going to collapse the ribbon. That gives me a little more space. And I'm going to start it again with a print screen. And I'm going to choose just this part here all the way down to the bottom, which you'll see why I did that in a minute. And then I'm going to record, and I can use pens to explain things and focus on things, but I'm going to use record to explain this business letter. So a business letter starts with the date. Here's your date, and the date is started on at 2 inches. And you see at the bottom that my cursor was at 2 inches when I started. And then I quadruple space. In other words, I go down 4 times after the date, and I type my mailing address. The mailing address is typed single space. There's a blank line before and after the salutation. Paragraphs are single spaced with a blank line in between, and so on. So you can see I can highlight things if I wanted to highlight the date. There are lots of things that you can do with this. And you can also use a digital pen if you have one on this recording. I'm going to stop the recording. And then at that point, I can play the recording to see if it's what I want to use, or I can redo it. I can delete it. I can share it on Facebook, OneNote. I can copy it or email it or link it or embed it. I usually like in my online courses to embed them unless I'm just going to send them. And they are MP4s when you save them. So a number of things that you can do for those recordings, and you can build a whole library of them. I know a lot of instructional designers that use Snip to explain to teachers real quick things that need to be done. Great tool and free, and works for specific purposes in your course. End of video.